The guns, that's the real estate. The stocks and bonds. Artwork, shit that appreciates with value. What's the budget? Cars, clothes, jewelry, all that other bullshit that don't mean shit after you buy it. That's what it's all about. Guns and butter, baby. Little dumb motherfucker.
You know, especially in the hood, they think cops is out here trying to kill everybody on purpose. Just like you said, too much to lose. Most cops, bro, got too much to fucking lose. They're not trying to put their careers in jeopardy, their families in jeopardy. I couldn't stand if I saw some police officer do some shit that was dirty, because that affects my life. Every time I drove back home, park my vehicle, I get bombarded by my community on how come this happened, why this happened, and I had to come up with an analogy just so that made sense to them, or why certain things happen. Because a lot of times you see things on the news, on Instagram, or so forth and so on, doesn't look right. Sometimes a lot of it can be explained from a police officer's perspective, but other times it's just no explanation. That officer fucked up, and too often officers don't call out officers that fucked up.
And see,
but one of the main reasons also is, especially for Black and Hispanic officers, they encounter the same type of prejudice and racism at the department that the community might deal with out in the street.
So you being a Black officer.
I'm a Black officer. I won $85,000 in a lawsuit suing one of my white lieutenants and my white commanding officer, who put little monkeys on my desk.
Right.
We had a book on inferior races. And what happened when I complained about it? Nothing happened to them.
So let me ask you this. It's a two-part question. I'm gonna ask both of them so I don't forget. As a Black man, why go and be a police officer?
Well, if you're not part of the system, how you gonna change the system? We just gonna sit there and watch all of this nonsense in our communities without doing anything to assist. Okay, so a lot of times you might see, just like if a female is fighting a male, and they're like, why y'all guys ain't helping us?
Yeah,
right?
You gotta do the Madea, you gotta play grit ball.
Right. So
yeah, catch them while they sleep, get that boiling hot water.
Now, especially NYPD, there's been a shift, because a lot of the Black and Hispanic officers that came into the department are now in
lieutenant, sergeants, and
right.
Yeah.
They're now in a position of power. Look at the mayor. Our mayor, Eric Adams, was I knew him when I first got on the job. I knew him as a captain, and now he's the mayor.
Gotcha.
So he was in the police department as well.
So
most of the top chiefs now are Black and Hispanic.
And you know, I never really thought about it from that perspective, just because how I grew up. Like I said, I don't fuck with the police, because my experience with police, they ain't look like me. Mm-hmm. They ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Right, they ain't look like you. But now if they start looking like you, then you might understand a little different.
And you know, that's the difference between Dallas and Houston. When I moved to Houston and you can interact with Black police officers and things of that sort, it's a completely different experience. Right. So let me ask you this, being a police officer, and obviously you didn't buy into the system. So that blue gang, if you trying to be the person that's breaking the system and making a difference, you're not joining that blue gang. No. So do you feel as if that made you a target?
I don't feel like I was a target, but...
Or an outsider?
An outsider to a degree.
Okay. Right?
I'm not a target. I never felt unsafe. However, if I start being one of these people that's going to be dusting up shit all the time, complaining all the time, in case I'm in an incident, I might need assistance. Those white officers might let's drive slow over there, as opposed to driving fast over there. They responded, so they'll never get in trouble. They might not go as fast, right? Just like if you in some beef, your family is dropping everything immediately to run to
Drop
your
everything,
aid.
come quick,
Okay?
Craig's in trouble.
If you in a club right now getting into a fight, everybody that's in your circle is dropping everything to run over to you.
Yeah.
If they don't know you, they'll be like, let's see what's going on over there, and that's what's going to happen. Same thing in the police department.
See, and that's bullshit. So
it's bullshit, but what can you do about it?
It's the system, exactly. So, all right, I want to ask you another question, and it's from this perspective. So they say a lot of police officers are fearful for their lives, right? Mm-hmm. I get it, and a lot of times that's used as justification for why there have been situations where fatal shootings have occurred. And I'm not going to make this a black and white thing. I'm just going to keep it blanket statement. But my thing is this: if I'm a dope dealer and I'm signed up to be, or whatever I'm signed up to be, or if I'm signed up to the president, that's like me not accepting that them digging up dirt on me or it's a stressful job comes with it. If you don't want to be in a position, I don't think that should be a justification for you to harm somebody because you're scared. Why become a police officer then?
That's a tricky question, right?
Right.
So
and that's why
so the job is to protect and serve. The job is not to get shot. The job is to protect and serve, not to get shot. Just like firemen, right? My job is to put out the fire. Okay, so and not get burned. So I'm gonna stand at a safe distance to put out that fire. Yeah. Now, sometimes you might have to actually go deeper into that fire, but you're not trying to get burnt. You're just saying, oh, listen, that's your job, so get burned, that's part of the job. That's not part of the job. The job is to put out the fire. not get burned. My job is to protect and serve, not get killed, not to get shot. So and it's twofold questions, because I tell a lot of my friends, and this is why we need more people like us to talk to the community, right? So too often you start seeing situations where police officers stop somebody in a car, for example, and they say, hey, let me see your hands, and then next thing the person says, oh, let me just reach for my ID, right? Here's the thing, motherfuckers know when they dirty, okay? So if you know you dirty, okay, or you have a fear of the police of getting stopped, why isn't your shit ready? So people not even thinking about that. Like, it's just like any job, right? You're going for a job interview and you're not prepared. If you are afraid of one, because most of the time when they get stopped, a lot of motherfuckers got no plates on their car.
They got some bullshit going.
Can I answer that question?
Can I go one thing before we answer the question?
Okay,
and this is the thing, and I get that, because there is a disparity as far as minorities and their understanding of interactions with the police. But let me bring this up. I have a license to carry. I'm driving that Raptor, fresh out the shop. Of course, you know I'm fresh out the shop. I'm driving down Scott Street. Oh yeah, I'm doing the dash. I'm out there. Police officers, 2 black officers that are not familiar with the area, obviously not from where I live in 3rd Ward. They pull me over. As soon as they pull me over, I present my hand. Hey officers, I have a license to carry. Want to let you know I have my license, my holstered, loaded firearm underneath my seat. Would you like to see my license to carry? No, don't reach. Get out the car, etc. They ended up, I'm gonna cut the story there. They thought I was a drug dealer. What drug dealer has a license to carry? Come on. Well, for sure, but I'm just saying, I'm telling them I'm not a threat to you. I'm sitting here as a citizen, and they ended up saying that I refused to get out of the car. They got pissed off at me, and they told me that I was driving reckless. So since I was driving reckless, I committed a crime while in possession of a firearm and hit me with unlawful carry. This is Easter weekend. Take me to jail. Now, mind you, I told them, man, I own a business in this community. I ain't been to jail in 10 years. I swore to myself I'd never go to jail again. You really gonna take me to jail? Took me to jail. I got out in 17 hours. My lawyer went to court on Thursday, got dismissed. But for me, I did everything by the book.
Right. And I have no explanation for that.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. I have no explanation, just like you have no explanation why you see a crime happen in your community and somebody said, why would that motherfucker shoot somebody if they already took the money? Why would they have to hit that old lady over the head after they already grabbed the bag? I can't even explain what that crazy ass person did.
I feel you. So it's just, we can't just because it get all, right. And that's real though, it all get lumped in. Yeah.
Right. Just like you don't want officers to lump all of y'all in, don't lump all of us in, but that's what happens, unfortunately.
Shit, we do it. Let's be honest. If I see, I'm gonna be real with you, and a lot of people don't like to say this. If I see a young black nigga with a hoodie on walking down the street, the first thing I'm gonna look at that nigga and say, that nigga ain't up to no good. That's just how it is. But see, cause at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, we always prejudge. So there's a difference between being prejudiced and racist.
Right.
Prejudice is prejudged, and I feel like we would be ignorant. Prejudgment comes off of our life experiences. Right. So, but it's the action that makes it racist. Yeah. I can prejudge you. Then when you come up to me, and if I treat you different because of my prejudgments instead of reserving them, that's what makes me racist. Boom. But I'd be foolish to not say, okay, he's a police officer, he's probably like this. I'm not gonna treat you any different, I'm gonna let you show me who you are, but I'm still gonna have my defensive posture to a certain extent.
I'm very fortunate that in my neighborhood, everyone judged me as Damien. They grew
from the block, yeah.
So there was no different, bro.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Damien, have you ever sold a nickel bag?
No.
Have you ever went to school and sold anything that you wasn't supposed to have at school?
No.
All right.
No.
All right.
I went to private school.
I'm just going.
They have it there as well. However, I never did.
Have you ever hit the blunt?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I have.
We got it. Let's go. Wrap it up.
I have. And once I became a cop, my friends knew what I could not do. And if your friends are not your friends, if they tell you, oh, fuck it. Just like I don't believe in no peer pressure. People talking about peer pressure. We grew up, motherfuckers was poor, bro. So if you ain't want to smoke, that's more weed for me.
Yeah.
So when I'm hearing this dumb shit about, no, you gotta smoke to be down with us, I don't know what group is doing that. I mean, have anyone said you gotta smoke to hang out with me? No.
Hey.
So that's bullshit.
Matter of fact, can you give them
take accountability?
Can you give them the analogy about when you used to go in the club as a civilian, off-duty officer, and when people would be like, the police in here, blah, 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 he's the police.
Well, I'm gonna give you a funnier story.
All right.
So one of my friends, God bless his dead, he had this strip club, but it was more than a strip club. All kind of shit was happening.
My type of place. Right? Before I got engaged.
Right. Before I got married. And I used to hang out there, and I literally just hung out there, right? Those are my boys, right?
Oh yeah, you was hanging, huh?
Just hanging. So one time, one of my white police officer friends, and he used to stress that all the time. And what's so funny, now he is engaged, or he might have been married to a black female already.
Yeah, there it is.
And she said, thank you very much, you're the reason. But anyway, I brought him to this damn club. When I first got there, the bouncers was like, D, what's good? And I'm like,
what's up, nigga?
They looking at me with the white officer, you know. I mean, we're not in the officer uniform.
Oh, you had Jake with you for training day.
So they was like, what's going on? I said, no, we going in. And they said, yo, you know, we got to hit the man up. I said, all right, bring him down. I don't want to mention his name.
Yeah, for sure.
He came down. He said, yo, D, what's good?
Nigga, let me in. These niggas tripping.
And then he shook my hand. He looked at I said, you got to ask me? He said, say no more. Say no more. Then he came in, and my man was sitting there just watching. And I remember driving back home. He said, yo, they can make their ass shake like that. his girl had the flattest ass and shit.
Yeah, flat booty.
Oh, so you the reason why he converted. You converted him.
So about a month and a half later, he broke up with his girl, but he was stressed out, and he didn't tell me. He happened to go up to that spot by himself. So in the police department, if you don't show up to work, I don't know if the rules are different here, but in New York, if you don't show up to work within 2 hours of your tour, they're going to send officers to your house, okay, to make sure that you ain't commit suicide, because people don't realize that suicide rate is extremely high in the police department. So they want to make sure either you wasn't a victim yourself or you didn't commit suicide, so they send officers to your house. So my boss was stressing out, like, where the fuck is so-and-so? And I'm like, and no one knows. So everyone's trying to call him. He's not answering the phone. My boy winds up calling me and be like, yo, your boy here. I said, who? He said, the white boy. I said, up where? He said, he's here. So now I reached out to my boss, like, listen, I found where Chris is at. Let me go get him. I go up there, and he's just there stressed out, crying and shit like that. And I thank my man. I say, yo, bro, do me a favor. My people always gonna take care of you because of me, but don't bring your ass up here by yourself.
Yeah.
Just because you might leave or that somebody might set you up. It's just that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, but these are things that happen on a regular basis in New York, bro. I'm sure it happens everywhere. I'm just saying New York because that's right.
Man, and nah, that's a great story. So I ain't gonna lie though. This was the story that made it make sense for me, right? So he was like, I used to go to the club. I'm off duty. He's like, I'm impersonating
It's
you.
the same spot, probably.
Yeah, he like, sir, I'm off duty. I walk in the bathroom. Everybody's talking shit. They're like, hey, I hear them whispering. They're like, hey, he's the police. He's the police. I go outside. I tell the motherfuckers, I'm like, hey, would you come up in the precinct? And I tell everybody, hey, he's a drug dealer. He's a drug dealer. All right, so why the fuck are you telling everybody I'm a fucking cop? That's just funny as fuck.
That spot was in Harlem. That spot was in Harlem, New York. And in the name of the club, if y'all from New York, was the name of the drug dealer. That was the name of the club. And I wasn't even supposed to be there. We're not supposed to be hanging out at spots where known felons are at, right? But one of my girls...
Oh, so y'all on probation like other niggas.
Yeah, no, it's just, you're not supposed to go to spots with known felons. But my girl moved from Brooklyn up to Harlem. She did not know that was the type of spot it was, so she had a party there. Welcome to the neighborhood party. So I said, you at this spot. So I just went to the party. I'm on the low. I go in the fucking bathroom, take a piss, and dudes are there smoking weed. So they see me, they freeze up like, oh, this a cop. That's when I turned around and said, bro, if I was there with my boys who were police officers and said, yo, he's a drug dealer, I said, I would sound like a bitch. That's what y'all sound like. Right? and then I went upstairs, and then the fucking owner see me and him was talking, and one of those same guys try to get his attention, and he sees it, and he walks over to him. He said, what's up? Then he calls me over. He said, yo, D, come over here. He said, and he looked at his worker, because that's what the dude was, the drug dealer's worker. He said, I trust this motherfucker here more than anybody in this club. And that was me. So I appreciated that.
So does the movie Paid in Full have had any inspiration on your police? Why you want to be a police, narcotics, anything like that?
When was Paid in Full out? No, I was a cop before Paid in Full.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah. I was a cop in 1982.
Bro, he an old school NYPD detective, bro. This is...
What you mean? I mean, niggas, even them niggas watch movies?
Yeah,
no, for sure. I'm just saying.
I was a cop before then.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why I became a police officer, guys. I'm going to tell you why I became a police officer, right? Because being a police officer in the Bronx or anywhere in New York City is a fucking no-no. But I went into the military. Soon I came out the military. My father was also in the military. He was in the Air Force. I was in the Army. He said, listen, I need you to take all of the civil service exams. So I took the police department, correction department, fire department, sanitation department, and I took post office department. And the police department was the first one to call me. That was the only reason I became a cop. I did not plan on being a police officer. And all my friends was discouraging me from being a cop. They were like, yo, why would you want to do that when they killing us?
So I can help, nigga.
And I said, bro, we being killed out here without no cop interference. So at least now I only got to worry about one side. I ain't got to worry about the cops now. Now that I'm a cop, I only got to worry about y'all motherfuckers, not the cops.
Have you ever had to do hand-to-hand combat on like, you know, tussle up, a nigga try to...
I'm in narcotics. That's all day.
So you beat a nigga ass?
We had hand-to-hand combat.
All right, what's the most amount of drugs you ever seen in one raid?
Yeah, we get to the good shit.
I seen a whole Astro van filled with cocaine.
Okay, did you gummy it?
No.
You didn't hit a number?
No, because when we hit that van, bro, we get intelligence. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, man. Most of the cops, we're not psychic, bro. We don't know that apartment 3D and such building is a fucking stash house. We don't know that shit. Okay, we don't have no CNI glasses. We can't see in the building. It's your own people. Talking about the snitching shit. It's your own people. That's snitching. Okay, we locked them up for something unrelated, like you said, how you got pulled over with the gun, right? So we would have pulled somebody over with a gun. And you're like, shit, I already got 2 felonies, bro. I can't do no time. I got some information for you. That's how we get the fucking information. But when y'all want to talk about snitching, these motherfuckers snitch. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So, and you know, but it actually makes sense though, because I'm gonna be honest with you. And now that I've grown, I've learned to change you learn that emotions drive all of our decisions. So my emotional reaction to my mistreatment by the police doesn't allow me to think logical. And if you want to be on some gangster shit, the mob implanted people in the police department, in the judicial system, all of those things, so they could have influence. Why us as minorities can't do the same thing? And I'm not saying you're doing it, but I'm just saying I'm using that to make the connection. We need representation everywhere.
And you know what? That brings me to this right here. Can you please tell me a story of an unsuspected somebody that you caught selling drugs or on the job that you would never expect?
We don't need a specific, but can you tell us their position?
No. Everyone, you know, I've never, because that's back to the stereotyping. I've never looked at anybody, right? Just like one of us. One of us might be a fucking big drug dealer, right? And or we can all be businessmen and family men here. So I locked up an old Jewish guy. An old Jewish guy. And he used to sell coke all down Lower Manhattan. So
good shit.
So he also lived in a very lavish fucking building.
Right.
Okay. So the funny thing is, I'm listening to him because our undercovers, just like we have this is what we would call like a Kel in the police department, right? So an undercover would have a listening device on him, and they would be 3 blocks away. So now, let's say I'm doing a deal with you. The guys can listen to my conversation. So I'm listening to the Jewish guy tell the undercover, yeah, these cops are stupid. He walks with a newspaper and he staples bags of coke, you know, thin bags of coke, you know, a gram or 2 in the newspaper. He staples it to the newspaper. He said, if I ever get stopped, the first thing the cops are gonna do is they put down the paper, throw it on the ground, search him. And then the fucking paper is the fucking coke. So when we finally got a search warrant for his house, and this is the shit that pissed me off about my semi-racist fucking supervisor. Long story short,
he trying to get a nigga killed.
Doors. If it was a black and Hispanic person, we busting down the fucking door. Being that it was an old Jewish guy and in a pristine fucking neighborhood in a lavish building.
Oh, he get a walk through.
Oh, he wanted us to knock and wait. And the guy goes, hello, and we're like, police, hold on.
Let me go flush this shit.
Bro, I was sitting there because I'm the case officer.
The water off?
I'm the case, no, we can't turn the water off in the whole building.
Damn, that's y'all good. Projects, they turn that water off, no flushy.
Yeah, that's because you ain't.
It's only 2 floors. See, in NYC, the buildings are 20 stories.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Listen, you turn off the water, we're going to get fish tanks falling down on your fucking head in New York City. That's what they do. They throw batteries out the window. They throw fish tanks out the window. They throw all kind of shit at you. So normally when we pull up at the projects, we have to park about a half a block away because our vehicles will be totaled by the time we come back outside. So
and it's because of situations like what you're talking about with the Jewish guy that happened.
Yeah. So we knocked on the door and waited for him to come.
He flushed all the shit.
Yeah, he must have flushed all the shit. So all we had was the money in the house. No drugs was in the house, but we was able to lock him up based on the prior sales to the undercover.
Yeah, but that ain't the.
Yeah, exactly.
But let that have been anyway.
Yeah. Or if it was black and Hispanic, bro.
Man, they kicking that shit in, bro. Let's go and keep it real, bro.
And you want to put on a whole scene for the community.
Hey, you wanna ostracize them? All of this shit, man. Nah, for sure.